Would y'all stand, please? That we say a prayer.
Dear Heavenly Father, we just come to you this evening, Lord. We just ask that you be with us and guide us, Lord, as we try to make the best decisions possible for the district. Lord, we ask also that you be with everybody that's ill, Lord, and just help get the sickness cleared out of here, Lord. And we ask that you continue to watch over our schools, our students, our staff, Lord, and their safety. Lord, and watch over them as they travel for their events, Lord, and also watch over them this evening that everything be safe and fun, Lord. All these things we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
honor the Texas
flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
So it's like you've done it before, we're getting better.
All right. Let's do anybody?
No.
No one on open forum. So we will go to recognition of guests, and Mrs. McCowan, you want to go first?
Yes, sir. I brought Miss Graham and Miss Lozier. They have stepped into the front office. Miss Graham is our team secretary, and Miss Lozier is our attendance clerk. And I just want to applaud their efforts. They have stepped in and they have learned all the programs. They've been trained, and we're so grateful to Miss Stevenson, Tanya, and then Tanya Ledford, and Lydia, and Kira at the middle school. They have been over helping us, and it's been a very smooth process, and things are going really well. And I just appreciate both of them and their attitudes and their efforts, and I wanted to recognize them.
Good deal. Thank you. Okay, let's move on to Mrs. Carr.
So I brought some junior high cheerleaders. I'm sure most of you know we haven't had junior high cheerleaders in I don't know how long, but we did add those this year. We have 5 7th graders and 5 8th graders. They've just been practicing a lot. I don't think anybody really realizes how much work it takes to learn all the cheers and the chants and the school song and everything that they have to do. So they've been working real hard. And they're going to get up and do whatever cheer they decided to do for them.
We have to change them.
Oh, we haven't. They're going to change.
Well, they were in there, they have floats and they have themes for their floats. They were in their themes for after this to do that, and they didn't have to wear their uniforms, but they did, and so it's been a mess with all the homecoming events going on.
Okay. Well, maybe we could do Mr. Jordan's and then we can say
So
maybe
then
this.
just a minute, we'll wait for them.
Okay, we can do that. Okay. All right.
Do you want me to get a picture of maybe the new secretary?
Let's go back there.
Okay.
And see.
I can take a picture.
Yeah, we're just out of here.
Gina, do that.
You have to go back there. We're still waiting on one.
Yes.
Here we go.
Oh, well, I don't think I don't know that.
Let's do that discussion.
I guess we're good. You'll do?
Did she leave?
I guess.
Oh, we're still waiting on someone.
Did she leave or she's still here?
No, I think she's
Did you
changing.
see her drive off?
No, she didn't drive.
Oh, okay.
She's changing.
Just a minute.
Well, why don't y'all tell us your names and what grade you're in while we're waiting?
While we're waiting, we'll go ahead and do some, the consent agenda. Does anybody have any anything that they want to change on the consent agenda? Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda items 1 and 2?
I move to approve the consent agenda items 1 and 2.
Got a motion by Doug, a second. Second by Chad. All in favor? All in favor, none opposed, motion carries. All right. On the regular agenda, approval of hazard route designation for district transportation.
Yes, sir. This is just our hazardous route, and what we're calling it is anything south of Highway 136 is our hazardous route due to the amount of highway traffic.
Okay. Anybody have any questions on it? Same route, same thing that we've done every year?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve the hazardous route designation for district transportation.
Have a motion by Chad, do I have a second? Second by Mike. All in favor? All in favor, motion carries. All right, review student handbooks. Do you have time to do that? Okay.
I guess the other one left, so if they could do the real fast.
Oh, okay, okay, good.
Blue and white. Eagle fans, stand up, get loud. Who's the team that makes you proud? S-F-J-H. S-F-J-H. Eagle fans, get on your feet. When we yell, you repeat. Blue and white. Blue and white. S-F-J-H. Blue and white. S-F-J-H. Blue and white. Let's go, Eagles.
So good, girls.
You can leave now. You don't have to stay here.
Okay, girls.
You want to get a picture? Thank y'all for coming. All right, we're going to go to the student handbook real quick.
Basically, this is the TASB model, and we just take their model and add, you know, some of our policies like, you know, like a grading policy or the class rank, the dress code, how we do credit recovery, those types of things. So we just add that into it. And so I don't know if y'all had a chance to look over it, if you have any questions or.
Is anything different from last year's, that you know of?
There was a couple things. We're still waiting for some verbiage from TASB on the opioid antagonists. There was, what was the other thing? Cindy, or
The EpiPen.
the EpiPen. And so,
And the one other thing was different was the hair, the one that you can't discriminate against.
oh, right, right.
Yeah, that rule.
Crown.
Yeah, we went
The
over
crown,
that.
yeah.
I think that was it.
Yeah, there wasn't just a whole lot of, you know, big changes. And so that, those others, as soon as we get the wording, it's going to be in update 122, Carolyn said. And so we'll get that in there as soon as we get it.
Okay, any questions? All right, let's go to the employee handbook.
And this is basically same scenario. TASB sends us a model, and then we add our, you know, policies that we have for our employees. And so, and I want to say it was basically exactly the same as last year. I don't know that there was any. There will be some policies that we have to approve in the October board meeting that has to do with non-holiday days for at-will employees and that type of deal, but we'll take care of that next month, so.
Okay. Any questions? All right. We will move to campus reports. Mrs. McCowan.
All right. Well, we got another new student day, so I believe that last time we were at 314 when we were here, and as of today, we're sitting at 319 on our campus, and our attendance rate is 94.58. We are having Mrs. Price bring her students over who are interested in early childhood. There's, I think, about 5 students, and they're coming and visiting our pre-K, kinder, and first grade classrooms, and they did that last year, and the teachers absolutely love it because the students aren't just observing, they're actually working with the kiddos, and that's worked out really well. Also, we have kinder, first, and second grade, a teacher from each grade attending numeracy training, and this week the trainer came and actually observed our teachers in the classroom, debriefed with them, and talked about best practices with them, and she'll be back. Our T-test goals have been submitted, so Coach Moose and I have already met with all of our teachers and approved their goals. We've had a lockdown drill and a fire drill since the last board meeting. Our NWA, the beginning of the year testing for NWA is complete. And all of our teachers have scheduled their formal evaluations. Coach Moose and I have conducted one each already. And then our kiddos are loving attending the pep rallies. They love the themes and they love to be able to go. Each grade level is going twice, but we are letting 5th and 4th go 3 times. So they'll be going in October. We have an ST Math training. ST Math is a program we use at the elementary that's funded by Phillips. It's a 3-year contract. The teachers are really liking that program, and so are the students. And we have a rep coming from ST Math to do a short training on Friday. We are still meeting, used to be OERs, now it's SCRs, and having our data dialogue talks to go over the testing that our teachers have been giving, and they dive deep into that testing, and we discuss that. Something that the staff came up with, we created a sunshine committee to help just acknowledge appreciation days a little differently, and then they asked for a happy cart. So we're starting a happy cart at the elementary every other month, which is really a cart that we take around and have drinks and treats for the teachers just to boost morale and brighten their day a little bit, and that'll be happening in October. We have been in contact with Phillips and with BizKids, and I talked to Dana, who is the director, and Kathy Sanders and Audra Anderson have committed to take on the 13 additional lessons. They're going to divide those and teach those in 5th grade, which is like financial literacy, economy, free enterprise, and then we are going to go May 9th, the day, she just emailed me today and asked if we could go May 9th, take our kids to Amarillo to BizTown, which is an actual little town that they've created, and we will pair with West Texas school, and there has to be 100 students to make the town function and work properly. The kids will have jobs, they'll get debit cards, they'll go to the bank, so they'll get to experience that for a day. So we have committed to doing that, and our campus improvement plan has been updated. I added a couple of DMAC math scores for this evening. We have a new 4th grade math teacher, Ms. Rankin, and her most recent DMAC score is on decimals on a number line, and she had a really good, not just passing rating, but master's was 57% on that test. They're working hard in there. And then Ms. Sanders in 5th grade on her first and second unit test, she had 77% pass, 23% below, but she had 27% at masters and 38% at meets, which were really pushing that meets and master number. And then the last page, just some pictures of our students enjoying the pep rally, some science experiments happening in that bottom left-hand corner. We played virtual bingo with the staff, which they love. They all get bingo cards in the morning, and we send out numbers throughout the day, and then whoever the winners are, they take a picture of themselves and send it in. So it's a fun thing we do about once every 6 weeks. And Miss Graham and Miss Crane were our winners this past 6 weeks. But things are going well at the elementary.
Good deal. Thank you. All right, Mrs. Carter.
All right. So on the front there, I just included a picture of our cheerleaders. That was at last week was their first time to get to cheer because they had some conflicts with some of their volleyball games. And then they're getting to travel to River Road tomorrow to cheer. I didn't recognize Miss Robinson. I realized afterwards that she's their sponsor, so she puts in a lot of work with them too. So the next page is just some stuff that's happened around campus. Ms. Ruggel you had to apply to do this digital learning experience for a 9/11 memorial, and she applied for it and got to do it. It was really cool. The day before 9/11, which would have been a Friday, they sent her lessons to do in class, and then on 9/11, they had where she met with an actual person via Zoom call every period, and they got to tour the museum in New York, and the kids got to ask whatever questions they wanted to ask. It was really cool that she did that with her class. We had student council elections, so I just listed out all the kiddos that were elected. They hung posters all over the school, and they, tried to get everybody's vote. Ms. Robinson has started Science Club. They're meeting Tuesdays after school. We've had one fire drill. Our NWEA testing should be completed by tomorrow. For all the teachers, teacher incentive allotment stuff that they're doing. The GT students this 6 weeks are doing an egg drop challenge, which we're doing tomorrow. They've been working on, they got to pick 5 supplies from a list, only 5, so there's like a list of like 15 things. They could only pick 5 things, and they made something to drop an egg, and so the egg wouldn't break. So tomorrow, during advisory period, we're going over to the football stands, and we're going to drop it off the back of the football stands and see if they made something good enough to hold their egg. And then a few weeks ago, Coach Cordell, when he was talking about, I guess, going from liquid to solid, he had the kids in 6th grade make ice cream in his class, and they all thought that was really cool. So. The next page is just some pictures of all the things I just talked about with Miss Riggle's 9/11 stuff and the Stuco elections and Science Club. More pictures, just of football. Of course, the kids at the pep rally, the kids love going to the pep rally. Attendance, so that just lists out how many students we have in each grade. We did have another student enrolled today also, so that would put us at 159. And then our attendance, so far, pretty good. We're at an average of 96.4, so not too bad. The next one is just some data. The top one is Ms. Dethridge's 6th grade math class. It doesn't look great, but she says that that's the way it looks pretty much every verse test. Because the 6th graders, are new to junior high, and they're still trying to figure out her and how she teaches and all that stuff. But so that was not unexpected, she said. It usually looks like that. The next one is Miss Robinson's 8th grade class. And her and I have already discussed this one a little bit, and she was telling me about a plan that she has on how she, after the kids take the test and they go back and correct it, she's, coming up with new ideas on how to, teach the kids what the question's actually asking. So she thinks that that's
I'm trying to teach them that you take the knowledge that I've given you to apply to the questions, because there's so many different scenarios that the STAR test gives us. There's no way I can address every one of them, but take the knowledge that we give you and apply it to these STAR test questions. And I'm breaking down the questions after they take it to show them this is what we need to do. I taught y'all this. This is how we address it. This is how we apply it. And they're like, oh yeah, we get that now. So that's a big deal that we need to start making those connections with what they're asking and what we were taught to make those connections. My goal is for it to all improve, to make those connections. So they do look really bad now, but I'm trying to make connections there.
And the last page is just stuff that's happening around the junior high, mostly just volleyball and football.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right, move on to Mr. Drury.
I'll start out with our enrollment. We have 73 freshmen, 57 sophomores, 57 juniors, and 48 seniors for a total of 235, which is what we had last time, last board meeting, but we have lost a few and gained a few. It's just we ended up back at 235 again. Now, we have another one that's starting to come on Monday, so we'll add another one then. Our attendance rate is 94.7. Then on the next page, our military wall has been updated this year. I don't know if you've had a chance to see it. It's in the gym hallway. Tanya Ledford did that. It really looks nice. If you haven't got a chance to look at it, you'll see it when you get a chance. On the next page, we had a large board with a school song donated by the 2021-22 cheer squad, and it's been hung now. It's in the gym. The picture on the left, you can see kind of where it is in relation to the other hangings in the gym, and then there's a close-up of it. It's really nice. On the next page, I think we told you at the last board meeting that we had a donation from, oh goodness, I've lost it.
Horace
Thank you,
Mann.
Horace Mann, for $1,000 for our English 1 honors group to go to see a play in Oklahoma City. And Richard Thomas is in it. He played John Boyle in the Waltons. And they'll be reading To Kill a Mockingbird, and that's what the play is. So they'll finish the book, and they'll get to go watch it, and this will be a real nice experience for them. So we appreciate Horace Mann donating that for them to go. After that is upcoming events that we have, and mainly it's football and volleyball and cross country. We've also had a couple of drills already, fire drill and lockout drill, but that's all I have. Any questions?
How's it going?
It's going well. I'm real happy, real pleased with it.
Okay.
Really am. Thank you.
Good deal. All right. Mr. Wiggins.
Our volleyball
Coach
team
Wiggins,
started.
excuse me.
No, that's all right. I've been called worse. So probably.
Had Wiggins in there.
Well, volleyball started off 1-0 last night. If you watched that game, first game I was worried, and I really showed testament to our girls. It was 24-21 at one time, and really it was like a tale of two. I don't know what it was, timeout series, I guess is what it was, but we almost gave them the first one, but we fought back. That was huge, because winning the first one's always good, but it propelled us. We wound up winning in 4 sets. But at least the biggest things are starting off District 1-0. Feel like Vega really athletically is probably the next best team in the district. And so, I know they're going to be out to get us when we go there, but it's good always to start off District 1-0. Cross country, went to Groom, and the junior high boys won it as a team, and the high school boys won it as a team. So our cross country team is doing really, really well. I really do. They've set themselves up at the high school level. They have a good chance to go to Austin. The key behind cross country is always going to be your 4th and 5th guys. Because that's really where those points come in. But really, they've done a good job. And if you've noticed the lights on in the mornings, they work the tail off. And my hat goes off to Sheena for getting up here in the mornings and really working those kids out. Football wise, if we can be within 3 touchdowns at halftime, we probably have a 500 record right now, as long as we're within 3 touchdowns at half, because we know how to finish, we just don't know how to start. I think that's a testament to our youth, because we literally, we go out there and see what's going to happen instead of making it happen, and then in the second half, a lot of it also has to do with the way we adjust. At halftime, I can sit them down and we can make good halftime adjustments, and they get it. Adjusting on the fly is something these young kids are not used to, so trying to get them to where they're football savvy on the fly is difficult, but at halftime, we can get them on the chalkboard and they can see it, and they've done a good job going out and making it happen. So I'm happy with where the direction the good kids are going. And the good thing about it is they keep getting better and better in practice. I would like to make some statistics for you. At this point, we've had 4 ball games. We had 803 yards passing, 702 yards rushing. And like I said, that's feast of it. That's 1,505 yards total. We don't have a problem moving the ball. The problem is we turn the ball over 5 times, sometimes trying to do it. So each game we've had 4 or 5 turnovers and they were costly. So it's really not necessarily our defense that's the problem sometimes, because we're giving up 2 scores sometimes when we got the ball. And so we can't turn the ball over, and we know where we got to go. And a lot of that has to do with youth also. and experience. And so the beautiful thing about it is the kids are still hungry, they're still wanting to win. Practices are going great. I'd like to say that it's nice having a kicker when we can block for him to be able to roll out on the field and kick a 40-yard field goal. I don't know if y'all noticed that the first game, but our second game, we started out the game up 3-0. You know, and it's just nice not having to go for it on 4th and 20 on your 20. You know, you're going to go away with points, and then you get a chance to flip the field. So football-wise, I'm really excited the way the direction's going. We have 41 kids still playing football, 16 JV kids, and 25 on varsity. So our numbers are good. They're just young. We've got 5 seniors, and the seniors we have are good leaders. It's just we're low on those numbers, but the future's really bright. Participation's good there, and I think they like what we're doing on both sides of the ball. We just got to polish everything up, especially we've got one more game to do it, and an open week for the ones that really matter. So, I would like to say, as you can tell, this week we've had a lot of activities going on this week, and I want to say thanks to everybody that's had a hand in all that. A lot of the things that go on behind the scenes go unnoticed, but you know, when you have a homecoming, there's so many things going on that week, and I can't begin to start. But also on Friday nights, on game nights, people that watch the live stream and all that good stuff, they don't realize. You know, a lot of people forget to realize that there's a chain crew out there that volunteer their time to work their tail off on Friday nights, and that's not a fun time to be out there, but it is important. And then we also have clock keepers that are up there working their tail off. Tara Huff is always making sure she's down there, or Tom Drake. And I know everybody loves his stuff, but it's just amazing just to see how many volunteers. Administration at the game, their hands are full. They don't even really get a chance to watch the game because they're dealing with everything in the world that you can imagine, maintenance, everything. But there's a lot behind the scenes, and I just want to say thank you because it takes a lot to put a ball in. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's go to district reports and Mrs. Searles.
Okay, this isn't in my report, but I was going to say along with Mr. Drury and the English 1 Honors kids going to watch To Kill a Mockingbird, Miss Sylvie, she's our first teacher that's actually using our online digital app where we purchase class sets of the To Kill a Mockingbird book, and so all the students have the digital copies on their Chromebooks and on their phones so they can take those with them everywhere. So that's kind of been a nice little thing for us to use, that Phillips donated the money for us to have that library, and it's enabling the kids to have copies digitally, which it's like nowadays as well to take. So it's kind of neat we're using that app in conjunction with what she's doing with the play and everything else. The first thing I put in my report was just a Capitol Watch alert that came out. I just wanted you guys to have a copy of that. So I told you last, board report that TEA has changed our whole accountability system, and there's a lot of people unhappy about it. Well, there's so many people unhappy about it, they pushed it off now. They're not releasing anything until September 28th so they can make sure they got it right. And so, kind of curious to see how it turns out because there's over 50 schools now that are suing TEA over this. And I found a little article about one of the schools, Dallas ISD, said they're suing them because they predict in their district alone, 42 of their schools are going to drop 2-letter grades, even though they've already had increased scores over the previous year. So they predict 42 of their schools are going to drop 2-letter grades with this new system, even though they've increased their scores. So that's how frustrating the system is. I'm curious how many more schools are going to join the lawsuit. And they're big schools that are suing. Prosper was the latest one that joined the lawsuit this week. So I'm kind of curious. One thing that was frustrating to me as well, Mike Morath, he says that the state normally makes small tweaks to the accountability system every year, but he's saying that they made these changes because the superintendents asked them just to do it all at once. So he's putting the blame on the superintendents, which, I talked to Mr. Garrison, and he said he didn't have any hand. He was not asking any questions about, what he would like the superintendent. So I'm curious how this lawsuit, this accountability system, everything's going to play out. It's just super frustrating right now. So that's something that we're watching. I don't know, a little frustrated with that. Other than that, everything else I put in are just some screenshots of NWEA reports, just where the beginning of your data has fallen. So junior high, I think, may have done NWEA like once, long time ago, but they rolled with it. We've got all the testing done. High school was finishing up some of their testing today, and so I don't have all of the scores, but all campuses, every teacher that's up for a teacher incentive allotment has given a pretest of some sort. And so we've got preliminary data, and we're going to do some middle of the year testing to kind of see how we're growing, and then we'll have the end of the year data to see, you know, our growth over the year, and then we'll submit this data to TEA, or I guess to Texas Tech, because Texas Tech is the one that will look at our data and see how our growth versus what our teacher T-test data looks like too. So we're in the process of getting all of that done, but teachers have been working hard. I've been on every campus and seen a lot of really good things going on everywhere, and so teachers are working really hard, and you know, hopefully the state will accept our system. But you know, I talked to I think it was pre-K teachers about their data, and you know, their point was even like, you know, they feel good as parents even knowing that maybe teachers might be pushing a little extra hard, you know, trying to get some extra money, which pushes them to do a little extra hard. They feel good about their kids being in classes. Not that they felt like anybody was not teaching hard, but you know, it gives a little extra push and incentive. And they also said in their own respect, they feel like they're even working harder as teachers. You know, we know pre-K teachers, I mean, everybody works hard, but you know, they are always working hard with the rules, and they even are admitting they feel like they're doing a better job just because they know there's a little extra that could come their way. And, I mean, they deserve it. All of them do. So I'm hoping this just brings about lots of changes and good things for our teachers and our students.
Okay. Thank you very much. Anybody got questions? No? All right, Mr. Garrison.
All right, I put attendance, enrollment, that type of deal, just like the principals had in their report. The numbers are looking good right now. Very happy with the enrollment. You know, got several kids back that we hadn't had that had gone to other schools and came back here, so that's looking good. Several things going on in September. October is busy too. You start getting in, you know, you got cross country, district cross country, and different things like that. You know, volleyball, like Coach Wiggins said, started district last night, and you know, I enjoyed that game just because of the fact that, you know, it was close in the first set. The second set, we get up 21-12, you know, and a lot of times, you know, teams folded up and they didn't. Vega fought back and they ended up beating us, coming back and beating us. And so, you know, it kind of gave our girls a wake-up call. And, you know, and we got ahead of them again in the third, and they battled back, and, you know, it was a battle. So it was a good win from them, and you know, tough win. It was something we needed. And so that was exciting. And, you know, like he said with the football team, you know, they're fighting. You know, they're just not quite there yet. So I'm proud of their effort. And, you know, there's a lot of good things going around on all the campuses and staying busy. And, you know, this year I'm going to get out and do some walkthroughs and evaluations of some teachers and things. I'm looking forward to that. And I got to, you know, see some, I've got on the high school campus a couple of times and, you know, got to see some kids and things, and that's been fun to do. I do miss that, and so, you know, I try to do that as much as I can. And I'm working on now the updating our emergency operations plan with the updates that the safety center said we have to make, and then we have a hazardous material annex that I have to update and a severe weather annex that I'm updating there, and they're due by October 25th. The window opens on the September 25th to get that turned in, so I'm working on that. And then one thing that we're looking at, and you know, I don't know if you'll get calls on it or not, but it's out of our hands, is in the student attendance handbook dealing with career and technology classes. They were going to go to a minute, and they were going to do like 8,000 minutes. Well, there was enough school districts that threw a fit about that, saying, hey, you know, we're going to have trouble doing that, this and that. So they said, all right, you got to at least have 45-minute periods. So we were like, we're golden, we got 45-minute periods. Well, the way it's coming out now, you got to have an average of 45 minutes. They threw that in there. And so that's if you have any assemblies in the school and they miss time in these career and technology classes. You know, if you have pep rallies, which we have a pep rally schedule, so that doesn't affect us. But anytime they miss these classes because, you know, of anything you're doing, you still got to average the 45 minutes. So the service center has suggested if you're on a 45-minute class period, that you need to at least increase your periods by 2 to 3 minutes. And so I've met with Mrs. Lyles, Mr. Drury, and Mrs. Carr, and we're gonna meet again tomorrow. And, you know, we looked at just doing, you know, longer class periods on a couple days. We looked at, you know, adding some time, and that's probably the route we're gonna go, is add about 2 minutes to class periods. It only affects the high school and junior high since we share teachers. It don't want to affect elementary. And so what we're going to look at doing is starting the school day at 7:55 instead of 8 o'clock. Right now, the first bell rings at 7:55 and the second rings at 8 to start school. And so we're going to look at doing first bell at 7:50 and then school starting at 7:55. And then it'll be about, what was it, about 5 minutes longer, I think, getting out about 3:45 on the, and that's if we had 2 minutes, and that's what they're suggesting. I just, you know, I hate to just do 1 minute and guess that we're gonna have enough time, because your CTE funding is dependent upon you following this 45-minute average, you know, and that's several $100,000. So, you know, I don't want us to take a chance at not meeting the rule and then not getting the funding. So we're looking at going 2 minutes, and, you know, we'll give the kids plenty of time, and we'll give them time to adjust to the new times. A lot of them, majority of them, are already here in the mornings anyway, because they're lifting or they're practicing or they're doing something like that. So I don't know that it'd be a big issue, but, you know, I just wanted to make you aware that that's, you know, and actually, they haven't even passed the rule yet. It passes on the 27th, but they said you need to be proactive, because it's going to be retroactive to, you know, September 1st. And so we're going to go ahead and start that. And, you know, they can't do it before school starts, so. But anyway, I just wanted to make y'all aware of that.
Do 3 minutes.
And then, you know, just I'll be out of town. I've got a doctor's appointment next Thursday, and then I'm going to go try to find some cooler weather on Friday. So I'll be out of town on Friday. And then, but I think everything's going good. I mean, we're busy, and I know all these guys are busy, and I appreciate all them, and it's been a good start to the year.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any questions for him? All right, on setting the next board meeting, we also need to do a couple of trainings. So have the service center come out. We need to do a team of 8 training we're supposed to do every year. We can get a few hours for it, and then schedule we can do that first. So we're gonna try to schedule a team of 8 meeting next month sometime, see what the service center can do for us, when they can do it. So
Wednesdays, I'm assuming we're okay. That's what I thought.
One more month.
Okay. All right.
So, do y'all want to try to do the board meeting on the 11th? Because we're going to have to do another meeting. What will that be, on the 27th?
Friday?
Or the 30th? We're going to do the budget meeting. Is it in October? In October? Or did we already do it?
Yeah, we already did that.
Okay.
Yeah, we should be.
You don't remember how mad Stacy was?
Oh, yeah. Never mind.
He just turns up, he just like flex that out. That's why I don't remember it.
I remember it now, dude. So is 11 okay with everybody? Okay.
That is junior high, or that is district cross country that day. I don't know if that affects anybody in here or not, but, okay.
And that's just the meeting, right? You're not
Yes.
scheduling training?
We don't know what
Yes, sir.
time they can do it.
I'm
So
gonna get hold of Troy or Nathan and see if they can come on a day in October, and then, once I figure it out, I'll shoot y'all an email
sure it can work out.
and,
Do we
Sound
get
good.
credit for the team of 8 if we're not all here? I can't remember.
Yes.
because I bet Rusty can do it. That's just my-
No.
The week of the 23rd, not going to be good for me for work.
Okay.
But any other time, should be fine.
Every day they feel it.
Wow. So we'll figure that out and try to get our hours in. That's all I have. Anybody have anything else? Tanya?
I'm good.
Okay. All right. I make a motion to adjourn at 6:40. Second. Second by Doug. All in favor? All in favor, none opposed, motion carries.